Dante Carter was listed as questionable on the injury report. What's going on with him?
Had a little shoulder issue on Tuesday. I think he'll probably transition to available tonight. He's had a good week. He's bounced back. So I don't foresee that being a problem on Saturday. Again, we'll update that this evening.
What does it mean to be back at home this weekend, and then also another sold-out crowd at First Bank Stadium?
It means the world, and I'm excited. I think there's a lot of activity around the game this weekend, but this has become such a cool environment, and it's just been such a neat rallying point for the Vanderbilt community, the Nashville community, and we enjoy playing in front of them. So it'll be special to have a lot of alums back and people that are excited about our program, and I understand that we'll have the best star walk we've had to this point, which is really cool, and we embrace all of that. It's humbling, the support we're getting, and we want to go out and play well.
Auburn is another team that has a stout run defense after just facing Missouri and Texas. Is there anything you learned from those matchups that could help your offense put up a better performance?
Yeah, we need to be more consistent in the run game. We need to be committed to it. And obviously we got the big run in a big moment against Missouri, but that's not actually how we're designed. We love that, all right, but we want to be able to run the ball to stay on schedule. Throw to score, run to win is kind of what we say. So, the Texas game was a little different just because we got behind so quickly that there was just parts of our game that shifted from being methodical to needing to be a little more aggressive, and that's why you saw some more throwing. But we're at our best when Seti and MK are carrying the ball and carrying it effectively, and we're moving the opponent. And Auburn's hard to move, so they'll challenge us. But can we be patient? Can we be patient with the score? Be patient with the game. Commit to that run game, and know that that's gonna help us separate late if we're able to get it going.
Yeah, Auburn obviously has a lot of explosive playmakers, particularly at receiver. Just how do you approach those guys on Saturday?
You got to be careful. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's very similar to the Texas game, and I did not think we did that well. So we've talked about that since Sunday, just challenging the defensive perimeter to play better and to play more detailed and to try to take the space earlier in the down. When you allow those receivers to catch the ball and turn and actually burst into open space, you're going to make it really hard on the tackler. So that means that we have someone that is aggressively pressing the block back on the perimeter to try to collapse that space. That means we have a tackling player that has eliminated the space using his eyes to get there faster than the ball. And now all of a sudden we have a chance to turn some of those chunk plays into tackles at the line or TFLs. Now you set the course for third down success. When you don't, you keep them in rhythm. This is a big play operation on the perimeter for Auburn, but the way we play, it's going to be more about catch tackle and spatial tackle elimination. So they'll challenge us, but we've talked about it all week. Now talk and doing are two different things, but I'm excited to watch the guys play.
Wanted to ask about Gabe Fisher. When you first saw him play, did you immediately envision that he would move to fullback, especially with that being, your position?
Yeah. Well, he was a natural fit for that. I think he's a really impressive player. I think he's done a great job. He has a knack for getting his body on the block and sustaining the block, and he's been a big part of some of our big runs this year. He was a wrestler, so I think some of that body control comes back to, he's actually a really good wrestler, a champion wrestler. But I remember watching him play in high school, and we weren't recruiting him at the time. We weren't, involved, but I just kept seeing him show up, offensive line, defensive line, the way he played, the way his teammates responded to him, and I thought, hey, that would be a guy we'd love to have in our program. And I think maybe I have a great eye for fullback talent, which doesn't really add much value to my job, but it's a skill. And then what he's done is he's also proven his ability as a pass catcher too, which is cool. That when you can kick people out and then slip them and find room in the flat, I think you have a chance to make some big plays. So happy for him, and obviously really, really happy to have him.
Obviously, you touched on the perimeter defense a bit, earlier today. Just what have you been emphasizing in practice all week to the guys?
The the detail it takes to eliminate space early. Again, we have block destruction circuits and tackling circuits that we believe in, but every defense is a structure. Execution's about having structure plus intensity. So we push them to show up both in the structure and that with that intensity in our scouted periods. Beyond that, it's about just the awareness and the detail of alignment, where my eyes are. Again, how can I eliminate space earlier in the snap, in the down, so that we don't have big space tackles we have to make against really good players.